So we brought in two people who are doing just that. Their platform has continued to grow. They're known all over the world. But as their platform has grown, it seems like at the same time their love for Jesus has too. And I think that that is the reason why God continues to elevate them, because every level that God elevates them, they're glorifying God on an even bigger level. And I'm so excited to introduce to you guys two of my greatest friends in the world, Cole and Savannah LaBrant. Will you make them welcome? Oh, come on, clap a little louder. Oh, we got it.
What's up, guys? We're glad to be here. We're honored. This is awesome, isn't it? We were blown away last night.
Yeah.
Last night was amazing.
Yeah, we didn't know what to expect. We came expectant, like Noah said, but man, we were just blown away. So we're just really honored to be here. And
so they came, but last week I was in Atlanta, and I was at the mall, which I frequent. And I'm at the mall, and I get a text message from Cole. And so we're a week away, right? Like, we've promoted this thing for 4 or 5 months. I'm at the mall, I'm in the dressing room, and I get a text message that says, "Hey bro, I am so sorry. Something's come up. We are not gonna be able to make it." It was literally just like that. I dropped to my knees.
You have to say what it was, though.
oh yeah, I said, dude, we got church Sunday morning. We didn't realize it. We got church Sunday. We can't miss. And we were just joking. We were obviously gonna make
They're
it.
here. So they're here, so they were joking, but they really scared me. So I just wrote a little introduction. I feel like most of the people in the crowd have either seen you on social media or on YouTube or whatever, but just in case you don't know who Cole and Savannah are, I'm just gonna read you a little bio on Cole and Savannah. Let's see, they have a beautiful 5-year-old daughter. We'll start with that. Does anyone know Everly? Yeah, oh my goodness. That was louder than they clapped for you.
I know, we're so sorry she's not here. She's with her grandma this weekend, so I know it's super disappointing. Most people just want to see Everly. They don't really care about us, but we're sorry you're stuck with us today.
But we are putting her on the dance team for the Gathering Conference
Gathering next year. She'll be on the dance team.
She'll be there. So Everly is their 5-year-old beautiful little daughter. They're living in California now, right?
Right.
Living in California, warm weather, jealous, it's not raining there. They YouTube, they do 3 vlogs a week right now, 3 vlogs a week. Their wedding video still makes me cry. I don't know, anybody seen the wedding video? Yeah. They really put us guys in a predicament, right? It's like the wife wants you to get like a really good wedding video, and she's thinking of theirs, and like it's never gonna compare. Anyways, it's awesome. I love the video. I've seen it like 7 times. Cole is currently ranked number 2 in the world in online Chinese checkers. Also,
that's a fact. That's a fact.
Also, Savannah, you just released your own clothing line.
I did.
Yes, it's awesome.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
What's the name of it again?
It's Savannah LaBrant.
Savannah LaBrant Clothes.
Who would have guessed it? Who would have guessed that?
Awesome.
Fun fact.
Yeah.
Side note, we haven't even like turned in our marriage documents. So like her last name's not even LaBrant yet. So we're not even like really legally married yet.
Yeah.
But I think spiritually, like through Jesus, we did the whole wedding thing. So like we're good. But yeah, all of our documents whenever we fly, she's Savannah students. Like she's not even my wife yet. We've been married like 8 months, but
I love it.
Turn in those marriage documents when you get married, guys. It's for real.
You just had a son. His name's Carl.
Yep.
Little Carl.
Carl.
A dog.
Carl.
Yeah. Carl, if you've never seen
He's
Carl.
a little hairier than most sons.
He looks like one of those like massive marshmallows that you buy, like a large marshmallow.
He's very cute.
What's he weigh?
He doesn't taste like a marshmallow.
He's coming in at 2.5 pounds.
2.5 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
We need to put him on a diet ASAP. ASAP. Cool. Okay, so everybody has seen you guys the past few years. You guys have been blowing up all over social media and stuff. But I want to know what life was like before all the social media stuff. What were you guys doing? Were you working at McDonald's? Like, what were you doing? Like, what did life look like before social media and YouTube?
Yeah.
You were working at Milky Moose?
Yeah. So I was your typical college student. I just graduated high school. Before we met, I graduated high school in Alabama. Born and raised in Troy, Alabama. Graduated from Enterprise and went to Troy University. So I was a lot like you guys trying to figure out, what the heck am I going to do? I knew I wanted to get my degree. I was going to go into pharmaceutical repping, which sounds extremely boring. You guys probably like, what the heck is that? That's lame. But that's what I was going to do. My entire vision forever was I just want to, get a job, get married, and, be the best dad and husband I can be at some point in my life. I didn't know when that would be. I thought way later than sooner. But yeah, I was working at Milky Moo's. It's a little ice cream joint in Alabama. If you ever are in Southern Alabama, you should go. It's delicious. But yeah, I was really just trying to figure out what the heck am I going to do. I know I love Jesus, but I also know that I want to get a job and not sure if ministry is my calling. And I was kind of doing the social media thing, so I was like, I kind of want to go that route, but I don't really know if it's going to support a family, and it's weird. And so yeah, I was clueless. I was clueless about what I was going to do.
How about you, Savannah?
I was a mom. So
Yes.
I was raising Everly and going to school. I was going to nursing school. And it was hard going to school full time, doing 18 units and having a newborn.
Wow.
So thank goodness I had my mom. But
And you were in California at that
I
time
was.
too.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, I have to mention it. I told you I wasn't going to, but Dim White Boys.
Oh. There's some areas of your life you wish nobody ever knew about or found out about, especially you go and talk about Jesus, and then there's this part of you that you just you want to twerk sometimes, and it just comes out. It's like inside of me, and I can't help it.
Or you think I really got the dance moves.
Yeah. So yeah, but no, that's don't worry about that.
How many of you here know what we're talking about when we talk about Dim White Boys? Yes. Yes.
I know.
I was telling Cole, that's how I first saw Cole. And I'm pretty sure that's where the hashtag Twerk for Jesus came from.
Yeah.
Which was quickly removed.
And just to clarify, I did not know about Dem White Boys when I met Cole.
I was like, she wouldn't have married
And then
me.
I found out I was gonna run.
That was after marriage. That was after marriage.
That was.
Yeah, she was already committed. She was already in it.
So how did you guys meet? How did that whole thing happen? Was it through social or just having same friends? How did that thing happen?
Yeah. So we were both kind of doing the social media thing. I was trying to make videos. I had been doing it for a couple years. I did Vine and tried propelling that. And she just kind of randomly, was making videos with her daughter, just for fun. Not even, whenever you first start up, you don't even expect or think anything will come from it. So you're just doing it just for fun with Everly, and just kind of almost like a mother-daughter bonding thing. But because of it, I had seen her videos with Everly and knew who she was. But I was on a college trip with my best friend John Steven and my brother Luke. After freshman year of college, we went to California, just like a spur-of-the-moment trip. And while we were there, we bumped into Savannah and Everly at...
Oh, come on. You bumped into her? Did you know she was going to be there?
For real, I had no idea. I wasn't stalking her.
Okay.
I didn't...
I believe you.
I knew that she had a kid, so I thought,
He did send me a DM, though, on music.
Oh.
It was very friendly.
The plot thickens.
No, it was very... If I had the DM, I would show you guys. It was like a student writing like a teacher. Hello, miss. I love your videos.
Hello, miss.
Is that true?
No.
No.
Oh
okay, what did the DM really say?
Just kidding. It was just hey,
whatever.
do you want to share videos? Love your videos of you and your daughter.
Okay.
Yeah, it was strictly video
Really?
sharing.
Right.
Yeah.
Were you thinking that when you sent the DM, or were you like, man, I really would like to...
No, I honestly thought that she was married. I thought that she was married, and that was that. So it was...
So Cole was a homewrecker. I'm totally kidding.
I get that from time to time, but
He was not.
as you guys slowly will hear our story, you'll realize that's not the case.
Totally kidding. So was Cole pretty smooth initially? Was he pretty smooth? Did he use any pickup
No.
lines?
Cole was not
gosh.
smooth.
I was so smooth. The first time that we held hands, that was smooth.
Oh, can we just show him
Yes.
how he first held my hand? All right, go.
I wanna see
So
it.
we were in the car.
So we're in the car, and
And
we're listening to
he puts on that song,
Savage Gardens.
Truly, madly, deeply.
Madly, deeply, something like that.
And I'm just sitting there all right. And he goes, you gotta show him.
Oh yeah. So we're in the car, and man, I'm so nervous because I'm not even joking. I think I've held one or two girls' hands prior to this. So I'm driving, I'm shaking, my hands just I'm like this, in the car, because we're in California. It's my last week there. I don't know if I'm going to see her again, but at this point, we've had like really deep conversations. I know she's single. I know that we're like both kind of interested, but I'm like, man, I don't even know how to hold a girl's hand. My hands are sweaty. I got small hands for a guy, so I'm like, like self-conscious. Man, I don't know if my hands smell, so many different things. So I'm like, I saw this like on like a TV show, and I thought it was funny, so I like reach in my pocket as I'm shaking, and I make it obvious. Like she like sees me like looking, like reach in my pocket. I'm like, ugh. And I pull something out like this, and I'm like, hey, can you hold that for me?
I'm like, sure.
And I just like slide my hand into her hand.
Literally exactly how it happened. I just started cracking
Was it
up.
with the right hand, so you were like holding hands like this?
It was that awkward. I didn't even know what hand to use. I was like driving like that. But
it was really good.
No.
But that's cool.
But it worked.
Bad.
It worked. It's cute to you.
It was cute.
Somehow.
I'll never forget it.
That's just like Jesus, like in and of itself. Like that would have
Yes.
never worked on anybody else.
He's still doing miracles every day.
Nah, yeah. I still think about that day. I threw up. Yeah, on the windshield while I was driving.
No, we didn't.
Okay. Sorry that didn't happen.
So a natural transition to that would be,
How
let's.
do we tie Jesus into that?
So tell us a little bit about how you started following Jesus. Was it something that you grew up, like your parents instilling in you, or did you have an encounter with Jesus at a youth event like this, or how did your relationship with Jesus start?
I think both of us grew up like in a similar way, just both very Christian households. My dad was best friends with the pastor. We went every Sunday. I would go on church camps. And then later on, once my parents got divorced, I kind of lost it a little bit. Just a lot of things happening that I can share in a little bit. But I think I kind of started coming back to Christ like a few weeks really before Cole. Like I always believed in Jesus, but it was a thing where I wasn't like living like I did. Yeah.
No, we both definitely, especially myself, grew up in a Southern Baptist church, loving Jesus. We were both kind of similar in that way. But I didn't really have a big encounter. I think a lot of people have this like big come to Jesus moment where it was either, drug overdose or alcohol or, a huge relationship. And, that's what I love about both of us is we come from, different backgrounds. But with me, I didn't have that big moment. And a lot of the time, like with my testimony, I always discredited that. Like I thought I can't share my testimony because I grew up, obviously I had a lot of struggles and definitely was not perfect by any means, but I didn't have this like big like come to Jesus moment. I grew up in a church and I feel like my testimony is kind of pointless in a way. I mean, not pointless, but it's not like big and meaningful, but I feel like that's like so many people, especially here in the South, you kind of grew up loving Jesus and it's like, we all know that we aren't perfect and we all ourselves know how sick on the inside we really are, but we didn't have this huge come to Jesus moment, but it's kind of like that slow, gradual consistency with Jesus, which is almost even more remarkable than just, I'm not saying more remarkable, but as remarkable as Jesus like hitting you in the head.
Yeah.
It's like slowly, gradually, continually, like time after time again, it's like, Jesus was there through everything. And that's kind of my testimony was, and obviously Savannah helped mature me in so many ways, meeting her at 19 and realizing that is a huge part of both of our testimonies, but yeah.
I love it. So you guys are famous, right? Like, let's just call it what it is. You're famous. I have a picture of you on my wall.
We never throw that word around in our house.
Oh, I never let
That's
them
the
say
F word in our house. So no saying that.
If Everly says it, she's in so much trouble.
Oh, no.
So you can just say, well known.
Well known. You're well known. And with that, there's a lot of positives that come with that. A really cool platform that you guys are using, amazing. But there are also some difficulties that come with that. I kind of got to take a sneak peek into that at Passion. Any of you guys, were you at Passion Conference? Anybody?
Oh, it's awesome. More of you guys should go. It's great.
Awesome conference. And I was there with Cole and Savannah, and I knew how well known they were, but I didn't realize how hard it was for them to just go to a worship service and be able to worship without being interrupted. And they were so graceful to everyone involved, and I was blown away by that. too, but I just didn't realize the difficulties that could come with that, and was really just inspired by the way that you guys handled that. And so what are some ways that you kind of distance yourself from the negativity and keep your focus on Jesus and just keep everything about Jesus? Because I think that is really what most of us in here admire the most about you guys, is how Jesus continues to be the center of everything you're doing.
Yeah. When I think of a difficulty, I know we don't like get too much hate, but I know there's certain times where we have, like when we first started dating, I got a lot of hate of just like who the heck Everly's dad was, like the real dad. And there was a lot, like just us being like super nervous to even like post a picture about us because people were just like so mean at first.
People would naturally assume, like how you did, the whole homewrecker situation.
Yeah.
They, people like to think the worst.
Yeah.
And so that was definitely tough, just because I, at the time whenever we met, was a 19-year-old guy. You're a super young single mom from this weird situation, and it's already tough enough as is.
Yeah.
It's tough enough, trying to follow Jesus, be pure, do things the right way as is, but now you have all these people throwing in what they think, and they don't know, but what they think, and you try not to care.
People assuming things.
Yeah.
A big thing was like they didn't believe that we were pure together.
Yeah.
Like she already did it, so why would she be waiting with you? And that hurt me really bad because I know that he really was really passionate about waiting forever since he was a little boy. And so for me, as soon as I met him, that was something that I became passionate about too. And it was really
Thank you, Noah's parents.
Applause for him.
Those are my
Noah's
parents right
up front,
there.
they're rock stars.
So yeah, that was a little negative thing that came along with it, but we kind of just put it out there, and if people believed us or not, I know.
You just got to get to kind of a point where it's like, we're gonna, we didn't always do the right thing. We had so many areas that I wish, we had done better in and struggled in, but, it gets to a point where it's like, okay, we're gonna do what we believe is the right thing for Jesus, whether people even, especially Christians, because we received a lot of hate from Christians. Whether people believe it or not, we're going to do the right thing. Yeah. And, you just kind of got to get to that point in your life where it's like, whether people believe it or not, it doesn't even matter. Are we doing what we're doing for people, or are we doing it for Jesus? And that's kind of what it comes down to, is like, are we going to be pure so that the world can see us be pure and hate on it? Or, a lot of non-Christians, think that's extremely weird, and they'll hate you for that. Or are we just going to do it because we know that's what's right, and Jesus recognizes that,
Amen.
Yeah. So you just kind of got to get to that realization. Yeah. So that's definitely just, being in the public eye. Just a lot of things about being in the public eye constantly is people will constantly judge you, and they don't know the entire story. They don't know everything, and I'm sure that you guys can all relate to that to a sense. People are just assuming things about your life, and it's like they don't know, and they don't have to know, and that's okay as long as you know that you're doing the right thing, and that Jesus recognizes that. That's honestly all that matters. I mean. Yeah. It's tough not to care what people think, because we'll sit there sometimes and, especially if we get like really deep in like some Jesus tweet or something, it's like kind of controversial, like something that we maybe shouldn't get tied into, but we feel like Jesus is leading us into, and we just got so much hate. It's like, it's tough not to care, just because that's who we are. But it's like, Jesus recognizes this at the end of the day. That's like all that matters. And it's tough to like really believe that, but like you gotta.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to hit on because what I love about Jesus, among other things, is he's a redeeming God, right? So like he can take mistakes and use them for good, far beyond what we believe can happen.
That's my favorite word.
And so I see y'all's story, because I've talked with Cole, and he's told me a little bit about how God did that in his life, and then we've talked about with Everly and a different dad. And so what was that like for you as a mom? You're a single mom, and you're looking for a good Christian guy with a daughter. What was that whole process like? What were you looking for?
Well, in the beginning, I was going through something really, really, really rough with her dad. He was just horrible to me, basically, and I kind of just put up with it. And Caleb spoke to me yesterday when he was saying, like, that's like what you're comfortable with. And I was comfortable with it, but I was very I knew how bad the relationship was, and I knew that it wasn't getting any better, but I kept going back day after day, and he would cheat on me, and I would go back, and he would cheat on me again, and I would go back. And that's just because that's what I was comfortable with, and I wanted Everly to be with her family, and I felt like that was the right thing to do since I came from a broken family. But sooner than later, this guy showed up in my life, and it was right around a time where I was fed up with him. Not him. But I was just fed up with it, and I had already been kind of done with it, but I still had that in my back of my head, like, I know I'm probably just gonna end up getting back together with him. So I totally feel like us meeting was like a total God thing, because it 100% just made me realize, like, just sitting and talking with Cole and realizing, like, there's guys like this. Like, I in my head, guys were cheaters and just horrible people just because that's all the guys that had been around me. But when I saw how amazing he was and how he just spoke about the Lord and everything that he did, and he wasn't scared to talk about it either. That was the first thing we talked about when we sat together at IHOP. And that's, even if I knew that we weren't going to be together, because that was the second day I talked to him, I knew that that's the kind of person I wanted to be with for the rest of my life. And I needed to set my standards a lot higher, especially for my daughter. So that was like a really big moment for me, that talk that we had at IHOP, when he just kind of, he made me open up for like the first time about my story. And yeah.
Wow.
I could get like so into it, but.
And so, Cole, for you, we've talked several times, you feel like your biggest calling on earth is to be a dad, to be a dad and to be a husband. And so could you just share with us what that means to you, why it's so important to you? And you're obviously a great dad already, but we might have some dads in here, some aspiring dads, some people who like to make dad jokes, all the above. We'd just like to hear that.
I got those down. Yeah. No, I mean, kind of like I told you before, even before I met Savannah, I had the best dad in the world, and I've been hanging out with your dad all weekend. Seems the exact same way. We're extremely blessed, and so many people don't have that, and I mean, that's such a loss, I mean, having. And great moms, but just I think as a kind of rule of thumb in the U.S., there's a lot of single moms. I really realized it after meeting Savannah, is there's so many single moms. Moms are great, and they take the lead, but dads dip, husbands leave, and it's kind of like becoming a common thing in the U.S. I mean, the divorce rate is just going out off the roof, and. So ever since I was young, I just really admired my dad and how great of a dad he was to me and how awesome of a husband he was to my mom. I just thought, whatever I do, I don't know what I'm going to do. I know I love Jesus. I love to get into ministry, but I also, admired my dad. He was just a professor at a university, and he was just a great dad and a great husband. And it's like, man, nothing beats that. Like whatever you're going to do, I don't know what you're going to do. You can go into ministry. You can, if you love Jesus, do whatever you want to do, but love your family. And so that was always my goal. I still have no idea what I want to do. I know that right now we're doing the social media thing, and I'd love to do what we can do for as long as we can do it. But above all else, I know I want to love Savannah the rest of my life, and I know I want to love Everly and our future kids the rest of my life. And if we can be in a public eye, I just don't want anybody to ever feel like their calling isn't big enough. I feel like a lot of the times people think, I got to be the next, Louis Giglio with Passion Conference, but never discredit how honorable and how great it is, just to be a great, not even husband and dad, just great friend to people. Great friend to people, great sister, great brother, just a great person to everybody who encounters you. I feel like that has the greatest impact.
So good.
So, but definitely being a dad and a husband, as long as we're in the public eye, that's what I want people to take from us, and myself, is that we're real about each other because we're real about Jesus.
Yeah. So good, so good. Did you guys catch that, future kids? I caught that.
A lot of them.
Savannah's got baby fever. She always got it.
The last
you guys
thing.
See her, she'll be running around with the little baby over here somewhere as a baby.
The last thing I want to ask you guys, you've got a lot of young leaders, a lot of young people who God has got a huge calling on their life too. And I think you guys are such a great example of people who continue to step and to continue to take steps for Jesus. If you had one word of encouragement or advice for someone sitting in the crowd, what would that be?
I'll go first.
You go first.
Yeah, I would just kind of run off of what I went with was these ministries are so great. And so many of my best friends are Noah and Caleb and Luke and Carson and these guys who are starting awesome ministries and they're going to be huge world changers. But not everybody can do that, you know? Not everybody in this room. I feel like just because sometimes whenever you're on fire for God, we think, I got to start my own ministry, or I got to do that, and obviously some people are totally called to, but not everybody is. So never discredit if you're going in to be a nurse, or if you're going in to be a school teacher, or if you're going in to be a firefighter, or if you're going into just being a dad or a mom. That calling, people need Jesus in all those callings. People, doctors need Jesus, scientists need Jesus. There's so many people all over the world that need Jesus, whether you're a missionary or whatever it is. It can be something that's not a Jesus-related field at all, but if you're sharing Jesus just by the way that you live in that element, then that's life-changing. And if everybody did that, then the world would be completely different. So just do what you're called to do, but do it great and love Jesus through it.
Amen.
I'm going to go in kind of a different direction. But I feel so strong about this just because I feel like this is a big part of my story. And I know that there's like a few girls here that are probably going through something really, really hard, whether it's a relationship or something with your family. And I'm like so big on redemption. And I just know, and I know that God has a plan for you, and He loves you no matter what you've done. I'm going to cry. But He's so sweet, and I just don't want any girls to settle because I was in a really bad place. And there's hope for everybody, and Jesus loves you, and you have a bright future.
Does anybody here want to meet Cole and Savannah later today? Yeah? So Cole and Savannah are going to be here tonight before the 7 o'clock session. When we open the doors at 6, they will be in the lobby, and they are stoked to meet you guys. And so if you want to get here at 6 o'clock, they'll be here in the lobby for about 30 minutes. You guys can meet them, take pictures with them. So make sure you get here early. Can we just let them know how thankful we are for them? Can we give it up for them one more time?